seen clashing with the police. But they are trying as much as possible to paint a violent image of us, which they should be ashamed of themselves. I cannot say our message goes because we are constantly blocked. Of course, it paints a very negative message, a very negative image of the police, and it shows that they are partisan. Other political players are allowed to go about their businesses. But NUP in particular is being hounded left, right, and center. So this clearly shows who the regime is afraid of. It shows who the real oppositions are. But most importantly, it shows that this is a biased police and therefore has no moral authority to be the police of Uganda.
Okay. In what I picked from your message yesterday, you did address people of Bundubujo saying that Bundubujo should be far away from what it is today in terms of development, but also you hinted at the issue of corruption, whereby the Inspectorate of Government highlights that we lose about 10 trillion shillings annually. Yes. And we have seen President Museveni coming up with some measures. Members of Parliament are currently battling cases in the courts of law. We have seen him come up with some agencies within State House. Do you think he's taking up serious measures and is serious about the fight against corruption at this particular moment?
But Museveni is the high priest of corruption in Uganda. Museveni institutionalized corruption. Museveni legitimized corruption. He uses it as a currency. You know, the same person that walked against corruption at the event while he was speaking on that very event blocked the IGG from carrying out a lifestyle audit because he claims the corrupt people will go and invest out of the country instead of investing in Uganda. He's the same person that rewards corruption. He rewarded the Mike Mokolas after theft, the Jim Wezes after theft of resources that were meant to help the most vulnerable people. He has shielded Anita Mongo, you know, the most corrupt speaker of parliament Uganda has ever known. He has shielded her. Museveni rewarded Karemera, a convicted tax fraudster. So, what moral authority does Museveni has to talk about corruption? Of course, he will lie and lie and lie again, but we understand. We attribute it to age, we attribute it to character, and we attribute it to greed for power. So, corruption is Museveni's way of life. Corruption is Museveni's bloodline. And to end corruption in Uganda, the first thing that must end is the Museveni regime.
You have talked of him protecting the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among. Yes. Maybe if you can clarify on that further, because so far there is no any case that has been brought legally against the Speaker of Parliament. What is there at the moment is just allegations which have not yet proven. So how would you like him to intervene? And possibly by coming for members of Parliament, you can say is leading the way. You never know where it will end.
These are not allegations. These are facts. Okay? These are facts. There are records from Parliament. These are facts, not allegations. And Museveni should be ashamed that international players, the international community has seen it. It is so glaring that it is seen by the international community. And they've even sanctioned her in the UK. They've sanctioned her in America. And also sanctioned her in Dubai. So here, Museveni protects corruption, but he cannot blind the whole world. You're talking about the justice system. Are you talking about the Ugandan justice system? Are you really serious? Why don't you just go to the next question?
I think the Ugandan justice system has always... maybe it is debated. But some people can say you hinted at, you called on the youth yesterday to stand up, to emulate what happened in Kenya. Yeah. And somebody would argue that why would Ugandans particular at this moment come out? For example, if it was during the election time, it would be rightfully so. But right now the situation seems to be calm and people are moving on. Yes, there could be challenges here and there. Why would you want the youth to come out at this particular moment?
Calmness does not mean peace. It is calm, but do you know what's happening behind the scenes? While you say the situation is calm, we lose more than 10 trillion to corruption. While you think the situation is calm, the money that is meant to buy ambulances is being paid to individuals that are connected to General Museveni. While you say the situation is calm, more children continue to die, more women continue to die, our infrastructure continues to rot. So you cannot say it's calm. While it's calm, the young people are losing their future. That's why I'm calling upon them to emulate the young people in Kenya and not to leave their future to only politicians, so-called opposition. The young people must not leave their future to politicians. They must hold them accountable. Politicians don't do the right thing because they are good-hearted. No, it's because they are pressured. President Ruto of Kenya had to fire his entire cabinet. He had to drop the oppressive law that was brought in Kenya that was going to financially strangle the people of Kenya, especially the young people. So this is why we're calling upon young people of Uganda to emulate those in Kenya and take their destiny in their own hands and not rely on politicians. And they should not target to elections, because in any case we have not had elections. We just continue to have, what can I call it? Not just fraudulent elections, but but in Uganda, they call it kutu samukolo.
But sometimes protests in Africa have taken the path of violence to this kind of things. Yes. So if you come out, won't you be seen still by a section of the public that this group is actually what we thought about them?
We are not reinventing the wheel. I'm telling them to emulate Kenya. Is there war in Kenya? Is there war in Kenya? No, there's no war in Kenya. Did the young people of Kenya rise up non-violently and unarmed, peaceful, and asserted themselves? Yes, they did. Did they get results? Yes, they did. So the young people of Uganda emulate the young people of Kenya. The young people of Kenya did not just do it for themselves. They did it for all of Africa, indeed all of the world. You see? So that, violence has always been used as an excuse. When you say the truth, they say you're inciting violence. And now the young people of Kenya made it clear that they're non-violent. I've even seen some young Ugandans calling for protests. I support them. And I like the fact that they're not tagging it to any political party or any religion or any tribe. That is what it should be. The only way General Museveni and his regime has always been suppressing Ugandans from rising up and demanding for what rightfully belongs to them is by arresting one leader. They arrest Dr. Besigye or they arrest me, and the people are made to think that now everything should go down. But now the young people should take it beyond the leaders. It should be beyond Bobi Wine. Most times they've been saying, those are Bobi Wine things. Now the young people know that these are not Bobi Wine matters. These are not NUP matters. These are matters of their future. In fact, they need to protest more than me. They are more pressured than myself. They are young. They have a longer future than myself. So they should get involved. Okay. They should rise up, peaceful, unarmed. The world is watching. You saw the police spokesperson yesterday. He couldn't, reject the peaceful protests. Why? Because they are anchored in the law. And they know the world is watching. They cannot kill all people.
But they have said that they have not yet cleared that kind of arrangement. So possibly...
They don't need... I must remind the young people that they don't need police clearance. They don't need permission from the police according to the law. They just need to notify the police. And I saw some document going around online showing that they notified the police. So we encourage them, wherever you are, in whatever part of the country you are, and I request you don't tag this to any political party. Don't wear any political party paraphernalia. Don't carry any political party identity. Just carry your placards, just write your message, and go about your business, go about your picketing, your demonstration, your protests non-violently. And that will be the most powerful thing that you've ever experienced in your life.
Many can say that the way the youth in Kenya used the social media was in a positive way that has resulted into some changes. But if you, and Uganda, there are a section of people who are trying to emulate the same. However, where is the limit in the usage of social media? Because we have just seen recently someone, a young man, was sued prosecuted and sentenced to serve 6 years in jail.
Yes.
And so to you as a leader, and normally they have always said that, you know, NUP has left its youth and supporters to abuse members of the public. So to you, where is the line drawn in terms of how social media should be used for positive change in society?
First of all, I want to assert that the young man that was sentenced to 6 years, that's the most stupid judgment that one can think of. It exposes our justice system. We have an RDC of Gomba, where I come from, the one who called Kisa, whatever. This is a person that removed his pants and showed his buttocks to the king of Buganda and to the public because he was angry with them for whatever reason. And he was rewarded with a post of RDC. But this young man, from wherever he is, because he was speaking against General Museveni, he's in. You've seen so many people, I'm not going to mention their names, but you've seen them. The person that uses the worst obscenities against me or against those that are speaking against the regime, they get rewarded. They get positions, they become presidential advisors. So the more obscenities that you spew out there, the more chances of becoming either an RDC or a presidential advisor or whatever. So imagine
but they say that two wrongs do not make a right. So if the other group, that's how they are being awarded. For you, do you think you should...
I'm not encouraging wrong, but I'm trying to show you the hypocrisy of this regime. I'm trying to show you that one person does something and is rewarded with a position of RDC or presidential advisor, and another person does the exact same thing and they are sentenced to 6 years in prison. Of course, you know what that puts, what kind of image it paints for our country internationally. But again, coming back to how to use social media, we have always been clear to the young people of Uganda, encouraging them to use social media positively, but also encouraging them to be non-violent. So for somebody to non-violently provoke you with words, I think that's much better than violence. When Museveni and his friends were our age, they did not abuse anybody. They just picked guns and killed people. They went around raping women. They went around raiding hospitals and all that. That's exactly what they do. Do you want to compare that to social media, you know, insults? No. Of course, we don't encourage insults. We encourage decency. But we also encourage our people to express their anger non-violently and to make sure that they communicate in a way that will earn them respect. The regime, I must end by saying that the regime wants to tag and we preach positive and decent change.
And maybe as I finalize, one of the questions I have is about your relationship currently with the Mengo establishment, because we keep, do you think what has happened between you with the former leader of opposition has somehow strained your relationship with the Mengo establishment? Because we keep messages that keep coming from there shows that the Katikiro coming out, also speaking about, by the way, issues to do with the being abused, people from NUP not respecting the others and so on.
I've not heard him say that. Buganda is the former leader of opposition, the Katikiro of Buganda. NUP is a political party and it's run at a national level. It's not a Buganda party. It is a Uganda party. We are responsible for Ankole, for Busoga, for Acholi, for Kasese, for all of Uganda. I come from Buganda. I'm a Muganda also. And in Buganda, we are all equal. Okay, so you cannot tell me that tomorrow if Right Honorable Joel Senyonyi is no longer leader of opposition and we have Odong, or we have Mugisha, or we have, you know, anybody from any other region. Are you going to tell me that the Mengo establishment is going to be angry that we changed him? No. It is wrong to try to reduce our kingdom to politics. Of course, many people have been trying to hide behind the church and behind the Mengo establishment. And I'm a Muganda and I'm a Catholic. And in our Baganda culture, we don't condone corruption. In the Catholic Church, we don't condone corruption. So please don't try to hide corruption in our kingdom. It's a decent kingdom. Don't try to associate our kingdom or our church with corruption scandals. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much for speaking to us this
finally,
morning.
if you'll allow me, I will once again drum this message to the young people of Uganda. This is your country. This is where you were born. This is where you're living. And when you die, this is where you're going to be buried. But most importantly, this is where your children and grandchildren are going to be. We guide you, we lead you, we make sure we carry the flag, we make sure we carry the message everywhere. But ultimately, it's going to be you. You are the only justification to show the world that this is not a Chagulanyi matter. This is not a NUP matter. In fact, this is not an issue of opposition. So many people in the NRM hate corruption. So many people in the NRM want change. So you, the young people of Uganda, come together, tribeless, partyless, religionless, join hands and save your country. Don't reduce it to Chagulanyi or to anybody else. This is your country. Look at the neighbors in Kenya. They did it. You can do it. You can rise up, peaceful, unarmed, non-violent, and claim back your country. Don't wait for me. In fact, don't expect me there. Let every one of us play his part. Young people of Uganda, remember, this is your turning point. Rise up and save your future before it's too late.
So about your program for today, where you...
The law again. Our only weapon is the camera to show the world what is happening. We are peaceful. We are law-abiding citizens. We are non-violent. We are coming to the people of Bushenyi and Ishaka to deliver the message of change. We are looking forward to seeing you, our people. Nitubakunda mnonga mwebale mnonga kutuachira tulio mulimbara ejisha. Later on we are going to Ishaka.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chagulanyi, for speaking to us. I hope you who has been watching NTV, you have picked one or two things from this interview that I've just had with him, and wish you a very fruitful day.
With the NUP's latest tour of the country. Allow me to return to the studio and echo what is happening across the region. Of course, we were discussing the election, that's the general election in Rwanda, where we had Rwandans go to the polls yesterday to elect a president, but also legislators. Our very own Sylvia Ruhanga is